Welcome back guys. In this lecture, we are going to build our second React project which is called as user authentication project. So this is the demo what we are going to build it in now. So here we have a div in the body with the title React authentication. We have two input fields with the variables username, password. So after that we have a button. If you click this button, it will validate these user inputs. So here I will enter valid user inputs first. Username JavaScript and password is equal to Udemy. So these are the valid input fields. So if I click on this login button, it will give an alert with user authentication is successful. Now I will click on this button. Here you can see we got the alert login successful. If you enter incorrect input fields, it will give the error. Suppose I will change any input field. Here this is the wrong input username. Now I will click this login button. Here you can see we got the error incorrect username or password. So this is what we are going to build it now. So let's open Visual Studio Code. Here you can see I have created a new project with the name Authentication in this React projects folder. So first we will navigate into this folder, cd authentication. Now we are in the authentication folder. Let's run it first with the help of npm start command. Npm start. Here you can see our project is executed successfully. Now we will open Google Chrome and we will run it. I will run localhost 3000 in the URL. Here you can see we got the default output in the app.js. Now we need to remove all the default stuff in it. I'll expand authentication folder. I'll click on the source folder and select app.js. First remove all the default code in the app.js file. Let's remove it. And I will write simple h1 tag. h1 user authentication. Here you can see all the default stuff has gone. Now we need to create the login page component. So here we have to create this separate component and afterwards we will add that in app.js. Let's create one component in the source folder. I'll write that component as login.js. I will write functional component in this because we are going to use hooks concept in this. So hooks concept cannot be supported in the class components. Import React from React. Afterwards I will write one function followed by the function name, function login parenthesis. In this I will return any HTML content. First I will return only one div with one h1 tag. I will write div. In the h1 tag I will write this is login component. Now we have created this login component. Now we need to export it. Export default login. After exporting we have to import that in app.js component. Import login from, in the single colons you have to write the file path of the login component, login. Now we have to add this login component in the app.js component. Less than symbol followed by the component name slash greater than symbol. Now let's see the output whether the login component is added or not. Here you can see this is the login component. Now we have to add Bootstrap for styling in our project. So while explaining project structure in the introduction section, I have told you how to install Bootstrap. Now we are going to do that. So to install Bootstrap in our application, first we need to go to the command prompt. So I will enter Ctrl+C here. So terminate the job first. So in the authentication folder, we have to write npm install bootstrap. So this is the command which is used to install any external library, not only bootstrap, it is for all the libraries. First npm followed by the install followed by the library name. Here the library name is bootstrap. That's why I have written npm install bootstrap. Press enter. It will start installing bootstrap in our application. Here you can see the bootstrap is installed successfully. You can see the message here. 61 packages are looking for funding. Run npm fund for details. Now we have to run the application once again with the help of npm start command. Npm start. Every time you install any new library, then you need to restart the application in React.js. This is must and should. Press enter. So it will start once again. Here you can see the application is restarted successfully. So to check whether the bootstrap is installed successfully or not, we have to create one button in the login.js with the bootstrap class. Then we can know whether it is installed or not. So I will create one button with the bootstrap class. We will create button with this is bootstrap button. So I will write the class name as class name is equal to, so in bootstrap button the style name is btn primary. This is the bootstrap class for buttons. You can name it any btn primary, btn secondary or btn success, anything. So this is the primary component button in the bootstrap for buttons. So I will press Ctrl S. Now let's see whether the button is created or not. Here you can see there is no button in the login.js component. Once we will refresh it. Here you can see the button is created, but it is not a bootstrap button. So there is no styling applied for this button. So because here we have installed bootstrap in our application, but we have not imported in the login.js component. After installing, we have to import that in the respective component, in which component you have to use the bootstrap classes. So to import the bootstrap in this login.js component, we have to write the import statement. Import bootstrap from. So as I said, any external library related files will be presented in the node modules folder. Now we need to move into this node modules folder. So present we are in the source folder, that's why we need to write 2 dots. Then we have to go to this node modules folder. In the single colons we have to write 2 dots and slash. Now we can see the node modules folder. In the node modules we have to select the bootstrap folder. Here you can see bootstrap. After selecting bootstrap folder, you have to select dist folder. Here you can see the dist folder. After selecting dist, you have to select CSS. After selecting CSS, you have to select the min.css. Here you can see this is the min.css in which we can find the all bootstrap classes. Select this bootstrap.min.css. So if you import this module from the node modules folder, then we can apply any bootstrap classes for our HTML components in the React.js. Now let's see the output. I'll press Ctrl S. Now we will go back to Google Chrome. Here you can see the bootstrap button is created successfully. Before importing the statement, we got the natural HTML button. After importing the bootstrap in the login.js component, the button is styled automatically with the help of this bootstrap class. So like this way, we can install bootstrap in our application. In the next video, we are going to create input fields and we are going to write all the actual logic of the authentication system. Thank you. See you in the next class.